Hey guys, so we're here with one of our newest clients, Amelia from Empowered Personal Training. Great to have you on, Amelia. Thank you very much for coming on.
That's all right. Hey guys, nice to meet you. See you guys again. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. So what we'll do, Amelia, we'll just give everyone watching kind of an insight into really how we met, the process we're going through, and where you're at now. So we obviously met at an event probably 3 or 4 months ago now, probably about 3 months ago.
I reckon it would have been at least 3 months, probably.
Yeah, so time flies when you're having fun. So give us an insight into where your personal training, where your business, and where things were at beforehand, before meeting Joe and I.
Okay, cool. So basically I got to a point where I didn't, not that I didn't have enough sessions or clients, but it was, things were often inconsistent. I often had to give, just in where I was working, like I was giving away a lot for free, like a lot of sort of free sessions, then finding it really hard to convert a lot of people, to like be on board long term, which is sort of, where I obviously see the most value in getting them results, is working with them for more than just one session. So that became quite a struggle, and then obviously that led to all those kind of inconsistencies with income, and just my time was spread so sporadically, like some days I'd be up at the crack of dawn for sessions, and then not back till like later at night, and it was just leaving me very exhausted, very drained, not necessarily not wanting to continue PT, but it was just, I wasn't feeling like I was giving my full potential and sort of even being able to achieve what I really wanted to with clients, because it was just, it was so inconsistent and
stressful.
Very stressful. And I am a very stressful person, so that was not ideal for me. So that's about where I was at. Until I saw your ad and thought, you know what, can't hurt to go and learn something, so see what I can take away from it, and here we are.
That's great. Well, thank you for being vulnerable there and sharing, because what we find is a lot of people have the issues, but they're not willing to actually embrace them and be like, right, I need to change this.
I need help.
And they continue on their path of what they're doing, and get to the point where they do quit. We've seen the statistics in the event. Like crazy. I think it's 56 people quit after 12 months. It's a crazy statistic. Because, as you said, you just wanted to help people, but you weren't even helping them because you didn't show up, because you're working such long hours, and it didn't really fit with your lifestyle and what you wanted either, really, did it?
No. And then I found I became very like frustrated and constantly just not upset, but because all those things played on my mind, I couldn't ever wake up and just be my true self and take that to my clients, because I always had these things on my mind, like not enough money, and it's so inconsistent, or this or that. It just took over what I really, or who I really am, and what I wanted to give people. And then because I was also aware of that, it made me more frustrated that I was just like not able to kind of find where I was going wrong with it.
Understandable.
I was going to ask around the clients that you were working with as well. Were they all the types of clients that you really wanted in your business?
Probably not, to be honest. Look, that's definitely was, majority of them probably were, but not all of them. And again, that was another thing that I thought I had to hold on to, was like hold on to those people, because
for the money,
they were the ones that were paying me then and there, and I was sort of like, well, I can't get rid of them, no matter if they're not maybe the entirely right person that I want to work with, but they're here and I've got to keep keeping them here, sort of thing. So probably not, but
so I was going to say, did you find that you were spending a lot of time, effort and energy with the people that you didn't really want in your business, instead of the people that actually valued you and your service and were getting the big results?
And were committed to working with you as well.
Yeah. And that was probably one of the frustrations that I felt like with like on the inside, because I sort of was like, I could see who my most loyal, I guess you would say, clients were, who would sort of come on board from the start, and had actually formed, you know, really good friendships on more of that sort of level. And
Nice.
and they were beautiful, and they're the ones that, you know, I got really excited to see. But then I got to this point where I felt like they, not that I let them slip under the radar, but I just constantly felt so drained by everything else that I probably couldn't even show up for them how I wanted to, because I really did want to give to them, because they gave so much to me.
Yeah, you're drained by the fact you've got to spend your energy getting new clients and spending energy on the clients that aren't necessarily most committed to your process. And that's what we talk a lot about. It's really important. And it's great because you got that early on. That was one of the things I remember you spoke to me after the workshop. You said, Martin, this is what I got from it. And I was like, yes, that is awesome. It's really cool. So obviously, so after that workshop, it's probably about 2 or 3 months later when you did decide that this was the right step and to come on and work with the boys. And a few weeks ago, you went through our 3-day immersion, the 6-figure and free PT. So what were the biggest takeaways from spending those 3 days with us?
Oh, everything for me was a takeaway. Like I said, there was, from that first workshop that I just came along to just kind of see what I could learn, there was already like so many light bulbs going off for me, like that finally someone, or, you know, people were actually saying, no, you don't have to do it that way. It doesn't have to be that hard. And I was like, oh, yes, finally. So that was kind of the first little light bulbs. But then I guess, you know, in that time when I went away and before I came to the immersion, I felt like it was cool that someone had reassured me of that. But then, you know, obviously I was still in my reality of how my business was at that point. And I was sort of like, yeah, but how do I make that come true for me, kind of thing, you know? So that's then coming to the immersion and learning kind of all that in-depth process, and actually being able to see, you know, what steps to take, what things to change. It made it become a lot more real for me now, and be able to sort of sit back and go, okay, now I feel I know exactly what to focus on. And like I said to you guys afterwards, like there was also a lot of not business specific stuff. There was a lot that you guys speak about. Just your kind of wisdom and knowledge in general is really applicable to me in my whole life. There was even like small attitude changes, and just you know, like one of the things that Joe, you spoke about a lot on that weekend was, you know, coming or looking at things from more of that abundant place, as opposed to like you don't have enough of it and you're never going to have enough kind of thing. So I've heard those things before and I understood them, but there was a lot over that weekend that just made me go, yep, cool.
Yeah, and it's something that you know, Joe's very good at. He makes sure we go over things over and over again, because that's when you take away key distinctions, and that's why we do a 3-day immersion. It's okay to have, we could give you a PDF with the model on and how we do things, but it doesn't work. You know, your PDFs, your ebooks, like they're everywhere. You know, the 3-day immersion is deliberately designed to do that. It focuses on the mindset. Then we get into your marketing and the monetization.
Yeah, and it's really, we dug deep into the principles and not the strategy. Everyone looks for the shiny tools, and we go hard on the principles, the foundations, and that's how you get long-lasting change.
Yeah, and I think that is also like how, because, you know, I've been to other seminars and other kind of business workshops, and you know, looked at not necessarily ebooks, but, you know, I've looked at other tools in the past here and there, and you're right, they're all very like strategy based, and I get it and I understand it, but it doesn't really change where it needs, on the level that it needs to change for you. So I find it hard to learn that way anyway. I'm much better at taking something on board to actually have someone like explain it or run me through it in that moment, and use an example of how they apply it or how it's worked for them. So those other kind of things that I've like read or been to or whatever in the past were all about the strategy. And I was like, yeah, cool, I get that, but
yeah,
I don't really know how to relate that to me and my business necessarily. So,
and that's it. And this way works. It's proven over and over again to work. I'd probably say a really great question to ask next, I think, is you were in that position when we first spoke to you at the workshop. You said to me, you were like mine, I'm a procrastinator. I remember that very well. And, and you said that to me, and I was like, that's cool. I was like, look, these things align. Like, this will work out when it's supposed to work out. And then obviously you came back to us a couple of months later. What would you say to people who are sitting on the sideline now? Maybe they've been to an event, or maybe they've seen our, what we do on Facebook or wherever. And what would you say to those people to kind of get them over the line? Because for you, it's all been about taking action, hasn't it? What would you say to those people?
Pretty much. This has been the scenario for me for like 99% of my life. And if you continue to do the same thing, you continue to get the same result pretty much. And I've procrastinated for basically like half my life, I would say, on a lot of things. And when I didn't just step up and I guess kind of push any fear or whatever to the side, I would progress, but then I'd always fall back to that same position because I'd get to a point where it might be scary and it might be new or, unknown or whatever, it's challenging, or I'm focusing too much on the what ifs and the hows and all that sort of stuff as opposed to the whys. When I let that procrastination just get the better of me, I'd just go in a circle and I'd end up in the same position in a few months' time. And that's been from everything in like my own health and fitness journey, in business, in like friendships, in relationships. So yeah, I would definitely say that if it's bugging you enough, that it's really playing on your heart, that it's just not working, you're really stressed about it, it takes a change to get a change kind of thing. So don't be scared.
Really cool. I love that. No, it's really cool because one thing I will, we always acknowledge you for it is, we were on the phone talking about your future and you said, now's the time, like, let's go. And I'd say your business has changed so much.
Definitely.
The way you price things, the way, the business names changed, like everything about your business changed, even the types of clients you work with. So we're really looking forward to the future of your journey. Obviously a couple of weeks in now, but the change and the action has already been really cool, hasn't it?
Yeah. And you see the reward because of that.
Yes.
When you start to take action, you get reward.
Yeah.
If you don't take action, you get no clarity and you don't progress forward. So it's awesome. And as Martin said, we acknowledge you for the big steps that you've taken already. Yes.
And do you feel happier about things?
Sorry?
Do you feel happier about your business? Because that's
yeah. And I was just going to say, like, I even, like you guys know that sort of transition that I've been going through recently, like moving out of one gym and now, taking my kind of business forward. I've definitely got, been through that little point where, maybe a few clients have dropped off, and because I've left that gym, I'm not going to be working with the same amount of people right now as what I previously had been. And if I had been in this position, a few months back, or just if I had never met you guys and sort of made all these changes, if I had have kind of been in the same position and changed gym or sort of whatever, it would have, sorry.
We went off then.
Sorry. I would have been even more stressed and even more scared at the fact that some of these things had dropped off, because I would have been looking at it in that from that space of I'm now lacking, whereas I'm fine with it now because I know that that's just creating space for what is right and what will come kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I like, those things are happening and they're changing at the moment, but like, that's cool because I know that I'm working on the right things,
You're creating space for your ideal clients instead of putting energy towards those that aren't ready for your genius, and that's
Yes.
really what it comes down to. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Amelia.
Yeah, appreciate that.
No worries.
Really appreciate your time, and it's awesome to see the changes already.
Be on the
and we're
journey with you.
Yeah, and be on the journey with you, and we're loving seeing the growth already. We really are.
Yeah. Well, you're not the only one to notice it, so I really appreciate it as well. And yeah, like it's awesome. I'm really excited for what is to come.
Us too.
Yeah.